What's up, guys? Alright, so we're out here in the garage. Welcome to the YouTube channel. We're out here in the garage, gonna fix the ride height issue on the silver car real quick. So some of the people that just watch my YouTube videos for information, there's a plethora of information out there on the web. So I did some forum hunting to some info back in the day and figured out all the differences between the SA front strut tube and the FB front strut tube. So basically, quick rundown. I'll do it over here. Hopefully you can see it in the light. So there's a GSLC strut tube. Let me get, so there's some light back here for you. Alright, so basically this is the difference between the FB front strut tube and the SA front strut tube. So the distance from this point here to the bottom of the strut tube is 3/4 of an inch shorter on an FB. The distance from the top of this to the perch is the same. So on an SA, your perch, referenced up down here, is going to sit 3/4 of an inch higher. Okay, so that's the first major thing. The second thing, and I don't know how mine are like this. I don't have a set apart enough to be able to see it, but this spring capper here, if you notice how this one sits fairly flat all the way across there, I'm going to pull the front end of my car apart and I'm going to switch to these flatter ones and then put it back together, because mine, the spring perch, does something where it's like, it's not flat, it just like comes down like this, so like that, and it just comes down like that instead of sitting like this. See the difference? So this one here would let this sit up higher than this one. So what I'm going to do to lower my car, because I would want mine to sit level, that's going to get me probably a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to cut a coil off my Racing Beat springs. So hashtag cut spring life. So we're just going to go ahead and knock this out real quick. I'm not really going to show you too much, except once I get it apart I'll show you the difference between the two things. I'm going to have to pop one of these off up here, because the other ones, well, I mean, I've got like cars full of them, but the other ones I'll just have to rob from a car whenever I take a car apart, i.e. the SE that's out there. I'm going to have to switch some things out on it. So no big deal, but I'm going to rob one from here and one from over there, and then we should be cracking. So it should be good. And I'll switch them with what I got on this, and we'll be cooking with gas. I found out that the Racing Beat spring should sit loosely on the strut assembly, and mine sits tight. So I think that's going to be my number one little check there, and then we'll see what we do. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and lop a coil off. I mean, we're looking at like 1.5 inches here, and the rear is like tucked, so we might as well just slam it. If it's too low, then I can always put the taller top strut perch thingy McJangers back on, and that'll raise it back up, but I don't think it'll be too low. So let's get cracking. Alrighty, y'all, so car's back on the ground. Both the springs, excuse me. So both springs are cut and it's swapped, and it's looking not as stink bug low in the front. So it's still like, you know, a solid 2-finger gap for now compared to like a 1-finger gap. I'm hoping it'll settle out a little more as I drive it some, just with having that coil spring gone. I don't know, we'll see. I'd hate to have to cut another round off, but I swapped the top hats out, the top cap hat things, these guys. I mean, you can see just how like high that one was making it sit compared to the flat one. I don't know where these came from. So I swapped that out, and it seems to be sitting a little better. So I still need to, because I just forgot to and whatever, I still need to get 2 more bolts for this side. That side's completely done. Sway bar's hooked up, everything's hooked back up underneath. So once I get the bolts in that one and set the camber on both sides, then it's pretty much ready for an alignment. And I think one thing I may do, just because it's kind of been, you know, in camera die, I might try to find a little spacer and raise the rear like a 1/2 inch, and that'll make it really match, because this is pretty low. I mean, like, this is like this. Whoa, different sight. Okay, so last night, finished up the silver car. Camera battery died, and I didn't really feel like charging it. So I just finished out the night. But I also had to bring the rotary truck in here yesterday on the way to work. On the way home from work, brakes got real spongy. Kind of didn't have brakes, but we made it all the way home. I was low on brake fluid. I couldn't find a leak anywhere. So I'm curious if it either leaked out the reservoir at the top and dripped down, or if one of the wheel cylinders or something's got a leak that I can't see and it was burning off. So we topped it off last night, bled the brakes again, which was a real pain. I ended up using a steel bar and wedging it in between the seat and the pedal. It worked kind of, but I didn't find too much air in the system. So once the master cylinder was filled back up, it was good to go. So now what we're going to do is pull this out, pull the Jeep in here. It's been doing this misfire thing and I haven't been able to figure it out. So I'm going to do a smoke test on it with the vacuum smoker and see if I got any vacuum leaks. And then I'm also going to pull the map sensor off. So it's got like speed density versus like mass airflow. So I'm going to take that off and check it and see what's up. And just kind of investigate for vacuum leaks, anything wrong with the intake, because it is, the misfire is very much load dependent, not like RPM dependent, if that makes sense. So at, say, 30% throttle it'll miss, but at 100% throttle it doesn't miss. And I already replaced the TPS sensor on there and the coil, and it's had plugs and wires and distributor cap and rotor. So there's only really one other thing that it probably could be. So I'm going to go ahead and try that at some point this week. I'm going to look at it and see if we get one. Then my truck, the Chevy, has been doing something weird where at stoplights it like idles up, or I guess not really at stoplights. When I put it in neutral or park after driving it, it'll idle up. So I'm going to go ahead and check it while I have the smoker out and running. I'm going to check it for vacuum leaks too and just see if it's doing something stupid or what's going on with that. It does have a check engine light, so maybe I'll check the light, but let's get to it, I guess. This video is not so much informational, more vlog-esque of the Rad Ranch. So we do have a fire going because it's cold. So let's get cracking. Alright, y'all. So for those who haven't seen the awesome vacuum smoker that Charles dreamt up, basically what we have here, an old paint can, or I guess like a paint gun thing, an old one of those. We've got the center of it where the paint feed is our vacuum out. This right here is a line that you run. This is a grill regulator, so it only puts out like 3.5 psi air line. Ground here, and then the positive is a glow plug for a diesel pickup. We have baby oil in there. And then there's also a sock, because like it wouldn't, I don't know, something about the sock helps make it go. And then basically over here we've got positive and negative. So you'll see I got this plumbed in. You can see the little bit of pressure we got right here. Oh, it popped that off. I may have to dream up a better way to close that. Let me get a better way to close off the intake. Alright, we're sealed. This is my custom concoction. We're going to go ahead and power this baby up, and hopefully we catch it before I smoke the shop out, because this thing puts out some smoke. See it leaking? Oh, we got some leaks, boys. I got one there. And it is just pouring out. The bottom of the throttle body. And the throttle body seals. Oh yeah. It's leaking good. Whoa, we're just cooking through projects tonight. So, truck's been doing this weird thing where it idles up when I put it in park and settle. I don't know. It's being weird. vacuum leak of sorts. I can't find a good spot to vacuum test this intake manifold, like the whole system. There's no like little baby ports for me to just hook up my dealy whopper to. So I'm gonna have to get some PVC pipes so I can clamp it into one of my intake boots and then shoot it in through there so I can see where it is. So that's what I got to do for the engine on this. The other thing that I've been meaning to fix for forever is my toolbox. Notice it only mounts up here. So when you have it filled with stuff, it's loaded like this, and you get a moment around this end over here, actually around that. It tries to rotate. So it pulled the bolts through on this side and was only being held in by the middle. So I took a piece of scrap metal and drilled 2 holes in it, welded 2 bolts through the scrap metal so I wouldn't have to hold a wrench on the other side. But I welded them together so it'd be like putting the bolt in like one end of this 2x4 and then the other end go through the bed. That's what's in the bottom of the toolbox now. It's like a plate of steel through the aluminum, and then I bolted it up from the bottom. So it shouldn't pull back. Well, I didn't fix the aluminum, I just plated over it with steel big enough that it shouldn't pull that through. So now my toolbox is solid, because before it would like hop around and make a bunch of racket. So finally got everything pretty much cleaned up out here. If you made it this far in the video and you're looking for a nice FD turbo setup, I think I'm going to sell my Garrett GT61 and the long runner manifold, the wastegate, the screamer pipe, and then I also have the down pipe to bolt it into an FD. So that'll probably get posted here soon on the interwebs, but look for it if you want it. If you do, hit me up. So for now, thanks for tuning in to the channel and checking out what's going on. Because it's raining right now and I don't want to get soaked, I'm not going to put the rally car in here tonight, so it'll come in tomorrow. So it's coming in on the day you're seeing this video. But rally car's ready to roll. This is ready to roll. I fixed the Jeep's vacuum leaks. It's outside. Hopefully I'll test it, drive it to work this week, make sure it's all good, then it can go back on daily duty. But I think if it's not raining tomorrow, driving the rotary truck again. So thanks for tuning in. Keep it rad.